Hello, welcome back to the channel. In this video I'm going to keep it fairly short and I'm going to really focus on just one thing, and that topic is the issue of Ukrainian refugees. Now we all know from seeing from the news that as of this point there's around 2 million Ukrainian refugees coming into Europe as a result of the war in Ukraine. And of course many people may feel strongly about that. They may feel that it is important that all the countries in Europe and around, maybe even beyond, do their bit. And their bit isn't just about supplying money. It isn't about just supplying arms to Ukraine, important as that may be, but it's also about looking after people. Looking after people at a time of crisis, at a time when they most need it, really. And so what I specifically want to focus on is what the UK government is doing. And this is important because this is something that people perhaps will feel strongly about. At the time of making this video, the UK government official count is that they have issued 300, and I do mean 100, not hundreds of thousands or anything like that, 300 visas to Ukrainian refugees. So just think about that number for a minute. As of this point, day 14 of the invasion, and the UK is only helping 300 Ukrainian refugees when there are 2 million that need assistance right now, with at least 700,000 or 800,000 in Poland alone. So this is the point I want to stress, is that the UK government doesn't want to help Ukrainian refugees. Now Boris Johnson is making lots of noises, and in some ways he is doing the right thing. He is supplying a lot of arms and direct support to Ukraine, and you can see that he's given those personal assurances to President Zelensky. But what you have to understand is that individuals like Boris Johnson and Priti Patel do not want to do the right thing. They will only do what they consider to be in their interest. So in the case of Army Ukraine, Boris Johnson is doing the right thing because it makes him look good. He has always had that aspiration to look Churchillian. This is a very well-known, publicly stated aspiration of his. And this has been his opportunity. And ironically enough, this war has actually saved his political career, whether temporarily or permanently we will see. But before the war broke out, Johnson was in trouble. He was in big trouble for all those scandals. So he's a very weirdly lucky politician in that he keeps being saved by events and other things that other people do. And that is what has happened. He has been politically saved. And he has seized the opportunity to try and look good, like a wartime leader, to make lots of noises and rhetoric and make speeches and so on. However, the genuine proof lies in what does a nation do for others that really need it, when they really need that help. And this is where we can see the actual reality. Because make no mistake, Conservative policy or UK government policy hasn't changed. It is still very hostile to immigration, and including being very hostile to refugees. And it just so happened there are Ukrainian refugees. Now of course the UK government can't just be openly hostile to Ukrainian refugees, not with UK public sentiment as it is to the system. So they're making lots of noises, they're saying they will help, but actually what they are doing is putting lots of blockers in the way. So I would encourage anyone, don't be fooled by any, the website's not working, it takes ages to process things and so on and so forth. The UK Foreign Commonwealth Development Office has offices in every major country. They have a visa section in every major country. And in times of emergency, they can surge people to process visas to support those visa sections. That is the sort of thing they did for crises like in Afghanistan, when those refugees were flooding towards the airport and being picked up by the British Army and RAF and flown out. So, 300 Ukrainian refugees, I'm still astonished by that number actually, because that actually represents one plane load. So if the UK government flew one plane into Poland, they could take out 300 refugees straight away. Of course, if they created an air bridge and said to Poland, put everyone with UK connections on the airfield and we'll pick them up, they could literally be shipping Ukrainian refugees over to the UK without having to go through the hoops of filling in paperwork and visas. They have chosen not to, and they've done so deliberately. So if you are a British citizen and you feel strongly that Ukrainian refugees should be supported, then you need to understand this. If you don't feel that, if you feel that the UK should not have immigrants, refugee or otherwise, and you're quite happy with UK government pursuing a racist anti-refugee policy, then fine, you'll be happy with this. But if that is not what you believe, then you need to understand that this is actually what the government's doing rather than what they say they are doing. So if you have any means of pushing support onto your MP or making your voices heard, because the government, then do it. Use your voice. Make the government understand that the UK population as a large genuinely wants to support Ukrainian refugees. Because make no mistake, the government will do the right thing, but only when forced to. Only when the media, when public pressure is such that they have to do it in order to avoid political damage. So please do bear that in mind. I hope the situation improves rapidly and the UK government does the right thing. But I fear that they will continue to drag their heels, continue to be slow, in the hope that it will all be over or something else will happen before they actually have to do anything genuinely helpful. So let me know what you think in the comments below the video.